There was a great show in the 90s called The Wonder Years, and there's an episode in season 1 in which we learn about the main character Kevin's father and how much he hates his job. Earlier in life, Jack had dreamed about becoming a ship's captain, sailing the seven seas, but now with 3 children and a mortgage, he settles into a job he hates. He's willing to sacrifice his career goals to ensure his family's security. And it's a noble choice, but it's also a choice that comes with great cost for both Jack and his family. See, Jack is so unhappy at work that when he comes home at the end of the day, he basically refuses to do anything but drink in front of the TV or stare longingly through his telescope on the back porch, thinking about what could have been. He's too angry to spend very much time with his kids, and he dies relatively young. So now, maybe it wouldn't have been responsible for Jack to run off and become a ship's captain, leaving Norma to care for their young kids, but we have to wonder, could he have found something better? If he'd looked hard enough, could he have found a job that utilized a few more of his core strengths, or a job that connected a little bit better with his passions? Instead of wasting so much time in front of the TV, could he have spent the occasional evening or weekend volunteering, perhaps? Maybe with an organization that he really did enjoy, and that might have helped him make connections that would have led to a better job. So what does it mean to work with purpose? Well, let's start with what it doesn't mean. At Purpose Match, we're big believers that working with purpose is not about finding that one perfect thing that you're supposed to do with your life. See, many people equate purpose with that one thing, that one pre-existing, preordained thing they're supposed to do, right? They assume there's exactly one perfect job out there for them, and that it's their life's quest to find it. If they do, life will be perfect. If not, total failure. Well, this leads to some serious bouts of what we call analysis paralysis, right? People, and especially young people, are hesitant to commit to any career because they're afraid they might make the wrong choice. What if I go down this path and I miss out on that other perfect thing that I was really supposed to do? There are so many choices in our society today, and trying to find that one perfect career from among thousands of possibilities feels like trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sometimes we just rather drift and wait than make the wrong choice. Second, finding wealth, fame, and ease. We live in a very interesting time in human history. Never before have young people had so much access to the power structures of society. Technology has allowed us to make our voices heard and given us unprecedented creative and income-generating power. And that's a good thing, right? Because there's tremendous genius and lots of good in the hearts and minds of young people. But I think this trend has also come with a cost for many of us. We see people like Mark Zuckerberg becoming billionaires before they reach the age of 20. We see young starlets and entrepreneurs cruising around in Ferraris, and we see other young people gaining international recognition for their innovation. And we think, hey, I want that. We all want to stand out from the crowd. We all want to be admired and respected, and we want to share in the good life that we see depicted in popular culture every day. And if that makes us work harder and think more creatively, great, that's awesome. But I think if we're being honest with ourselves, we sometimes have the opposite response. Instead of finding motivation, we gain a sense of entitlement. We think, hey, I'm special too, right? Where's my fame? Where's my money? Where's my respect? We think that we should be able to get rich quick doing something that's fun and easy, and that also makes a difference for society and makes us feel good about ourselves. That's the purpose that we think is out there waiting for us. And a lot of times, if we can't find it, we'd rather just wait for that thing to come along than do something less perfect. But is that really what purpose is all about? At Purpose Match, we don't really think so. And that's not to say that you can't have your dream job, right? I mean, we believe that you can. That's why we're here, is to help you find that. But from a purpose-based perspective, dream job, isn't necessarily about making $1 billion or becoming famous, right? Dream job is about that job that clicks, It's about that job that you just know is right because you're using the best of who you are to do something important in the world. And there might be a lot of different ways that can happen in your life. So the way that we define working with purpose at Purpose Match is this. Anytime you're doing what you're good at, strengths, and what you love to do, that's passions, to meet an important need in the world, awarenesses, alongside people that bring out the best in you, that's relationship style. Anytime those four things are coming together and intersecting and colliding, you are working and living with purpose. It's not necessarily about doing a certain specific thing, right? It's about working a certain way. It's about using the best of who you are to live with meaning and make the world a better place. Okay, here are some guiding principles for working with purpose. First, there are multiple jobs out there and probably multiple fields that might allow you to work with purpose. Your purpose streams are meant to give you a sense of some areas that might work well for you, but each of those streams encompasses dozens of different career options. Second, the key is moving forward with intentionality even if you don't know what the future holds. Hear this, you don't need to know what you're going to do with the rest of your life. Okay, the needs of the world will evolve, the job marketplace will evolve, and you will evolve. Your Sparks purpose profile might be different in 10 years as your priorities change. But think about it like this. You can't steer a parked car, okay? If you let your analysis paralysis get the best of you, you might waste several good years waiting for that perfect opportunity to come along. But if you start moving in a direction that fits with your Sparks profile, you'll get some momentum. And then if you want to change direction, it'll be a whole lot easier to steer. Third, purpose just might be a better measure of success than income. Purpose Match wasn't really created to help people maximize their income. In fact, we've had lots of people tell us they'd much rather take a bit of a pay cut, than work in a high-paying job they hate. Did you know that there's a correlation between money and happiness, but only up to about $70,000 a year, or $120,000 a year for a couple? See, on average, people that have greater income than that just aren't any happier than people that don't. They just aren't. That seems counterintuitive, but it's true. Now, obviously there are a lot of caveats there, location, family size, etc., and only you can determine where to draw the lines for yourself. But it's worth thinking about what you really need from an income perspective and weighing that need against other benefits in your life. Here's the ironic thing. Oftentimes, it's when people lead with purpose that they find the greatest financial success. If you go after a high-paying job you hate, you'll probably never be as good as if you're doing something that lines up with your strengths, your passions, your awarenesses, your relationship style. If you do something that aligns with your sparks, you're far more likely to do it really well and to reach the top of your field. And if you reach the top of your field, you're probably going to do pretty well financially too, regardless of the field. And finally, purpose isn't always about saving the whales, okay? Don't get me wrong, I love whales, elephants too, but there are lots of needs in the world, right? And, creating an amazing, comfortable couch where families like to spend time together, that's purposeful. What inspires me may not be the same thing that inspires you. The intersection of your strengths, your passions, your awarenesses, and your relationship style is the magic X. And when you're living in that X, when those four factors are coming together and working together, that's when you're working and living with purpose.